Alright, I'm live doing my Hangouts. Now, for today, it's actually a very sad and depressing thing, and also it's me being a little venti and angry. Now, remember when would always say my Hangouts aren't usually direct on us if I'm angry? This is one of those times when they just are. And unfortunately, I'm in that kind of position where I feel like it needs to be directed. Give me one moment. I may have to listen to the audio. Just are. And unfortunately, I'm in that kind of position where I feel like. All right, yeah, it's working. I just want to double check to make sure the audio was working, and still testing out the new mics. Now the new mic has the ability to filter out background noise, so I'm trying to keep a very close eye on it just to make sure that it's not screwing up or anything. But for the most part, I'll send out the link to watch Hangout, but I'm not going to send the invites for people to join, not until I say my piece, because I feel like there needs to be a few things that. Yep, there goes that. There. Still loving the fact that I can close down the laptop anytime I like. But where was I? Oh yeah. But yeah, give me a sec. I'll have to do another compose. There we are. And then now I have to open the laptop, which is the noisy part. But yeah. Okay, let me listen to the audio one more time. But yeah. Okay, let me listen to the audio one more time. Yeah, it seems to be working. Audio seems to be working, and there's no background noise because the neighbors refuse to turn down their TV despite the fact they told them multiple times, but they won't do that. But oh well. At least the new mic can filter that out and nobody can hear that nasty background noise. Found the link. Let me copy that. Let me do. Yep, that's right link. I just posted it there, and I'll also post it on my Discord. And I'll post it one more time to Twitter. I just want to make sure that I am doing this accurately. Now, every 5 minutes, I will always check the Twitter account just to see if anyone's interested. So let me just close down the laptop. There. Now, anyways, the message. Yes, there's an individual out there that he and I knew each other for quite some time. No, this is not Gauck. No, this is not person X, Y, or Z or anything. It's a person that's been around for a long time. Perhaps I met him 2 years ago, in fact. And the problem is that I see him in pain, not physically, of course, but just emotionally in pain. And the problem is, I've tried to communicate with this guy again, but he refuses to chat with me. Anytime I try and send him a tweet, he ignores it. Anytime I try and talk to him on Facebook, he ignores it. And from there, every time when I even try and even talk to him on other sites, he just won't listen to me anymore. And the problem is he is in pain because he keeps going from community to community or topic to topic in pain. He doesn't ever, he simply put, doesn't ever stays on the same topics. And what really bugs him is that he's in pain with his own personal life and how he used to have love relationships. Now, I'm not going to describe his personal life. I'm not going to describe his name either because I respect him enough of that. I'm not going to do any of that sort of stuff of doxing or anything. But I am going to say that from me and him in the past experiences, we were actually really great friends, actually. He and I used to share content videos and even talk to each other a lot. But I tried to warn him about a certain individual to stay away from. And I tried to tell him multiple times, and I'm not going to mention that guy's name because if I do, that'll bring up a little drama. But I tried to warn this guy of the other guy, basically, just to basically stay away from him, and he's not a good human being and ignored me, then got sucked into a cult. Then what happened was he still talked to me, which was good, but slowly and maturely he decided to go a little bit mad. Then after a subsequent point, he eventually just quit being a rationalist and became practically the opposite of a rationalist. And after that, he started yelling basically at other people in other hangouts. And from there on out, he doesn't recognize who any of us, especially me, or any of the things I've tried to do for him, and vice versa for him. Now he did came back roughly, I think 7 months ago, maybe 8. I don't remember the exact date, but he did come out changed, but he still came out as this entirely different personality that I really don't know and enjoy. And the last comment he's ever told me was that he doesn't exactly enjoy talking to me anymore. And all I said was I still like to talk to him, but he says he's not really interested in me anymore, which is totally fine by me. But the reason why I'm a little pissed off and annoyed is because each consecutive time I've tried to actually help this person, every single time, and he's consecutively did the worst decisions and did all the wrong choices, but in the end he just shit, there we go, fix that. But anyways, I tried to basically talk him out of a lot of bad mistakes, and the problem is he keeps ignoring me, and overall, I know for a fact he's going to come back to my channel eventually, or in the comments, or try and get back in the Hangouts, which I will invite him back. But I'm just want to make this announcement saying that if he does come back, you probably know who you are, by the way. If you ever do come back on the Hangouts or the video, just keep in mind that this is the last time I'm going to help you, period. And this is the last time I'm going to offer you advice to deal with your problems. But if you ignore me this one more time, I'm just going to distance myself from you. And it's not because I hate you or anything, which I don't. It's because if you ask for help, but you just keep ignoring people and you don't take people's advice, and not to mention that you in particular attack people that are trying to help you. And not only that, you keep making the wrong decisions, and it's going to drive you further down into madness, essentially. And no matter what you do, the only way you can fix your own problems is when you finally admit that you need help, and you need to actually look up to your friends and actually ask them for help instead of just downright yelling at them. That's all I have to say about this guy, and I'm not going to mention his name or the individual that he got a drama into or with. And I'm not going to name that whole past drama that he tried to escape and tried to ignore and all that. I'm just going to leave it as that because I have a feeling he's going to try and come back to my channel eventually. And again, as I said, I will invite him back, but at that point, I'm going to be expecting him that he doesn't ignore me and he doesn't make the wrong decisions again, because that's what I notice out of him. He keeps going to cycle loops where he does one little thing, then we try to warn him about that one thing, then he ignores us, then he does that bad thing, then he goes into a deep depression and starts yelling at people that are trying to help him, then it never ends. And basically, he's a pretty nice guy, but the problem is he keeps going back into this depression mode every time when something bad happens to him, and he doesn't ever learn how to grow, in a sense, or to get better. He just buries the pain. That's all I'm going to say on the matter at this point. The rest of the hangout will be about anything else or if anyone else is interested in having a conversation with me. But beyond that, I'm not going to answer any questions about that past individual. And don't worry, it's not Guile Cuck or any person like that. It's someone completely different that I'm pretty sure the new subscribers don't know who this guy is. But overall, we've known each other for years. All right, let's open up the computer and check Twitter. All right, now the reason why I'm checking Twitter is because ultimately I'm just making sure that I'm not that I'm not missing any comments and all that. But let me know if you ever want to have a conversation with me or chat with me. And I'm here for a while, probably a few hours. And the reason why I do these hangouts is to give other people a chance to, well, have fun. Just talk about Friended finally spoke to me. Well, it's about goddamn time. Granted, I'm not talking about this guy, but I'm talking about the other, but you know what I mean. Long story. But yeah, anytime you want Friended, you can hop on in. You can always hop on in. I'll give you a link. I'll have to do it by DMs or whatever means works for you. But overall, it's, as I said before, it's just an old time friend that he and I used to chat with each other. And I'm not going to mention his name because the moment I do, he's probably going to go. He does watches my video. I definitely know that, but he will probably come down my channel like the fury of God sort of thing from the Bible and just go nuts. And the reason why he will go nuts is because he doesn't want to associate me, even though I've tried to help him multiple times. But yeah, overall, it's a long story of who that guy is. And again, I want to stress the premise that I'm not going to mention the guy's name, because if I did, he would do everything in the book just to try and point out how an evil monster I am, even though I've done nothing to him but try and help him on a few points. And I guess the reason why he would act that way is because he made the mistake of telling me of his personal life. Granted, I tried to tell him not to share personal info like that, but he shared personal info of me, and the damage was done, plain and simple. And yeah, and now I'm looking at it. He's also become a a radical MGTOW. Granted, I haven't made a response to him yet because of that reason. But overall, we'll just leave it as that. The rest of the hangout can be about anything you guys want or be. And you can always ask me any questions you like. I don't want to make the hangout entirely about this guy. I just decided to make the first 5 to 10 minutes talking and explaining about why, if he ever does come back, I'm going to give him one last chance, but after that, I'm done with him permanently. And I'm not the type of guy that likes to block people, but I'm not going to block him. But he's one of the few people that I'm very tempted to block eh, because it goes back to my guilt. Really, I knew some people in a better light where they were pretty nice and rational people, but after a while they turned pretty sour and dick like. I guess that's kind of like I guess that's kind of like my curse on the internet sometimes. I've I've been on YouTube since the beginning. I've been here since 2005, I believe. I've seen so many good YouTubers turn sour over time. Friendships formed and broken. It's kind of a curse, really, because I feel like I've expired. I'm kind of like the can of beans, basically, and I've outlived my expiration dates on in terms of the channel, at least. And I should have quit YouTube like 2009, but for some reason I kept going on. I'm not entirely sure of why, really. Maybe it's because I still enjoy doing YouTube. That's probably the case. Maybe it's the fact that I truly do believe that there is some shred of hope that I could regain some friendships, but that's not likely. Especially with this guy and a few others, especially. And no, I'm not going to accept that excuse of, oh, that person was never your friend if they act like that way. No, I don't buy that argument because that's implying that they never liked you. But in this case, this actually person did. And I guess the reason why I don't like that argument of how that person was never a friend if he acts or treats you that way, it's the reason why I never accept that argument is because it it sort of ignores the side of that friendship where they actually did nice things to you and all that. But who knows? Let's see here. Let me check Twitter just to make sure that I'm not missing messages. Hmm. No, another guy messaged me, and no, I'm not interested in this reptile that much right now. I don't want to go on their channel or wherever and watch that stream. I'm not interested, and it has nothing to do with her. It's about old people, old drama that's never quite died. And let me close on the laptop to get rid of that noise, and voila. Let me type out in the chat. There we are. There we are. Hopefully, that'll satisfy. But going. Oh, you want in? All right, I will DM you. And don't worry, the person I was mentioning was not you, it's someone else. It's just another person that I used to like, but then he turned pretty sour after I tried to warn him about a few individuals. And then he just doesn't acknowledge my existence, even though that I was partly responsible for how he got to 400 subs, like double my size, quite literally. Let me just, there, paste. Then I have to, now, give me one moment. I'm moving this over to the other computer. No, there you are. Copy that, and I will DM you the link. And paste. I hope that works. Oh, shoot, my typing's going bad. Okay. There you are. I DM'd you the link. It should be on your Twitter private direct message thingy. Oh, hey.
Forbidden thinker. How you doing, man?
Oh, good. It's been a long time since you and I actually spoke.
I know. I saw you. I saw you had a stream going, and I thought, boy, I remember Forbidden Thinker used to hate Steve Shives, and Steve Shives is going crazy now.
Hey, yeah.
So I thought, hey, I could gab with him about what do you think of the Steve Shives meltdown?
Stevie. You know, I actually have this inside person, and he's been giving me these tweets, and my gosh, Shipes has gone mad. Like,
You're blocked by him, right? We're all blocked by him.
yeah, we are, but let's just say I have a person from the inside that sends me stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. People just it's funny now. Nobody retweets him. They all like if you actually can see Steve Shives tweets, you always screenshot them to tweet them out because you know that's the only way anyone will be able to see them.
Yeah, and
Pretty hilarious.
the thing I find hilarious is, my gosh, when he went on that meltdown with Lacey Green, and he's like, I'm only going to befriend people that will delete their accounts, and
Yeah. Let me just delete my account for you, Steve. Here. It's totally retarded.
I know Steve just. I think he's having a nervous breakdown because his goddess, or the lady that she liked in terms of YouTube, is shining her light upon another group, and that's making him go crazy.
You mean his wife? I mean, what's going on there? What do you mean?
No, not his wife. I mean Lacey Green.
Oh, okay. Lacey Green is his goddess. I didn't even know that they talked, and somebody told me, yeah, that they go way back. I like talking to you because you're like the historian, man. You know, you know all this stuff about YouTube from forever back.
Yeah, I was here since the beginning, since 2005.
Yeah, I've had an off and on relationship. What is your take on the whole Thunderfoot versus Sargon of Akkad thing?
With Sargon and Thunderfoot, yeah, I just watched their hangout, I believe this morning, and I have to say, like, both sides are being are being stupid, but the problem is it's more or less Thunderfoot that's being the stupid, sides of things because here's the problem. Thunderfoot has this ego mentality of if you criticize him, he has to disapprove that and he has to be right no matter what. Whereas Sargon is trying to,
Oh, totally, totally.
and whereas Sargon, he's trying to be this somewhat reasonable person in light of this sort of egotistical person. And my criticisms of Sargon is that you should have just made the one video and just leave it at that. The second time you made that video response is going to give fuel to the fire for Thunderfoot to say this is proof of tribalism.
Well, the video is kind of crazy. Supposedly they're going to. I saw a thing where Keemstar said they're going to have a debate. Do you know anything about that?
I actually don't know about that, but are they really?
Yeah, I saw a tweet earlier today. Yeah, Keemstar said they were going to talk. So maybe. I mean, that's the right thing to do. The problem that hold on. I'm going to tweet this out. I'm talking smack about Steve Shives and Thunderfoot with Forbidden Thinker. Forbidden Thinker. Oh. Tweet the Twitter. So holy shit. Twitter's crazy. So yeah, so Sargon was pretty right. I mean, Sargon wasn't really I watched part of the stream, and it's funny to me because Thunderfoot has this idea that a bunch of atheists have some kind of moral code, and they don't. Like, everybody has a different moral code, and most of it is like do whatever you want, right? Incendiary jokes are par for the course, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the fault of Thunderfoot, really. Like he assumes that we all have this moral compass, but we really don't. I mean,
Yeah, totally.
like just because we don't believe in X doesn't declare us with our own 10 commandments of what is and what is not, sort of. And I think the reason why he thinks that way is because he sees us all as Trump supporters, and he sees us all as conservative Christian or atheists now, and that pisses him off because
you think he's pissed off at Sargon's audience because they all voted for Trump? I didn't. Was he a Hillary supporter during the election? Was Thunderfoot a Hillary supporter?
um, he he didn't explicitly mention he was or wasn't, but he was heavily against Trump, though.
Was he able to vote? Is he American? I don't even know.
No, he's not in the United States. He's in the Czech Republic. He
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
able to vote, but as soon as Trump was in office, he went ballistic, and I guess the big reason why he went ballistic is because he's part of a scientific community uh,
Oh yeah.
where they're very fearful of Donald Trump's propaganda about the anti-global warming sort of stuff, and that kind of led to him being this denialist. And it's also the same reason why he was against Brexit.
Right. He's against Mike Pence as well because Mike Pence is a complete Bible thumper. So they're all worried Trump is going to get impeached, and it's looking like maybe Trump is actually going to get impeached. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to say, and I'm willing just to wait until and see if that ever happens.
So what did you think of the Lacey Green thing happening? What's your take?
My take with Lacey Green. I found it to be shocking, but at the same time, I wasn't exactly surprised because I kind of knew this would happen eventually when hard hitters from the SJW community would eventually falter. I guess my only surprise is that it was coming from Lacey Green. I was expecting it to come from the more fair opinion, but oh well.
You thought, but Tim's always been good about talking to people. Tim's always been open to talking to people.
Yeah, and
I mean, he hates bearing, but it's completely irrational for him to hate Bering. I don't know why he does.
Eh,
Well, he does because it's a consistency thing. Like he's made this argument. I think he's made it over a year ago now too. That Bering is the one who goes after 12-year-old girls, which is a completely. It's I don't know that he's ever even done that. Which is, I mean, he made 2 videos that I thought were kind of borderline, but they were about people who were in TED Talks. So I'm assuming those people were at least 18 years of age. But yeah, it's kind of crazy.
yeah, kind of crazy, the whole thing. But yeah, when the whole Lacey Green thing sort of started, I guess I was a bit shocked that it did come from Lacey Green, but I'm willing to give her somewhat of an open mind. But so far, all I see from her is that she's just willing to be open and talking. She hasn't really changed much of her feminist ideology, just the fact that she wants to have an open dialogue, but that's really about it.
Did you watch the stream with Blair White, or did you watch the Wosley's video on it?
Um, I believe I did. And I have to say, Lacey Green did act pretty positive and moderate compared to Garment, and I don't remember what that guy's name was, but she acted a lot more, I would say, considerate and a lot more nicer compared to the SJWs I would scream in front of your face.
Like she acted better than other people that had streamed with Blair White, or she acted. You said Kermit or Gurmit. I don't know who that is.
Garment, he's a known SJW that anytime he goes on a hangout, he just screams on the top of his lungs because he's arguing against a non-SJW. But my point
is Gurmit the guy you were talking about earlier?
No.
Okay.
The guy I was talking about earlier was, long story short, he made a mistake of interacting with an unethical person, became brainwashed, then he needed help. Then I tried to give him help. Then he attacks me for it. But that guy's entirely separate. But my bottom line is, Lacey Green was acting a lot more nicer compared to her SJW peers.
Hey, Ozyar's in the chat. Can he come in too?
Sure. I can give him the link.
Do you hang out on Morally Gray's Discord?
I do. I rarely ever post there for some reason, but
I think I saw you in there one time. I think I went there one time. I think I went to Bering's Discord one time. And I hung out there for a while, but I couldn't get my microphone to work.
All right.
My microphone kept giving me trouble. So for some reason, the Discord wants to change my sound around. So I don't know if it's me or what, but
sometimes I've noticed Google can actually do that sometimes. Like depending on the product that you buy for audio equipment, depending on that, YouTube can, or I wouldn't say YouTube, but Google can actually change the settings on some products you may use. Give me a sec. I may have to.
Oh, I'm doing it too. You keep talking.
There we are. And I'm hoping that I have the link.
I have the link. I'm going to beat you there. Here it is.
You may have to DM him the link. It's not working for me.
I did. He might not come in. Osher it claims to be too shy, but there's nobody watching. Osher, come on in.
Yeah, come on in.
Our secret. Where's our secret talking smack about Steve Shives? So how great! Oh, look, he's here. Nice. My evil twin is right.
That face. It's perfect.
So what's in store for Steve Shives? What are we gonna see? Did you see his why he had to ask, where he just basically came out and said everyone was like everyone can fuck off.
Yeah, I saw that, and my gosh, he's just
You downloaded it, right? A copy of that is saved somewhere. I was like, okay, gotta
Yeah.
save this.
Yeah, I definitely downloaded it, especially when my informants sent me the link.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
We'll be clipping the
I'm
hell.
sort of like that has to exist for history's sake.
Yeah, all three of us have a copy of it. Huh? There's probably thousands of copies of it by now.
Prob-
What is he thinking? Like, what is going on in that little tiny brain of his?
You know what I think it is? I think something that you might be able to know about. I believe it's actually some form of mate guarding.
He's already married. Like, there's all he's
No,
already
no, but as a feminist, right, or as a male feminist, your options for mates, right, are inside the feminist pool, right? So when you see when you see a feminist inside the tribe, right, start talking to another tribe, right, then that's one possibility that's going away. In fact, that's one going over to the other tribe. Therefore, you have to punch them.
that totally makes sense. So Lacey is part of he's thinking part of his psychological harem, and
Yeah.
he has to get out in front of this before one of them slips away. That's probably one of his best looking women too. I mean, Lacey's got a lot of.
Maybe a closer analogy would be slut shaming.
for going over to the other side.
Yeah.
Pretty
If
awesome.
you talking to too many dudes.
Oh, no doubt. She's going to have them parading all over her channel, the sanctity of her feminist channel.
Yeah, if you look at people like Tim Blake, Kevin Logan, Eli Bosnick, right? All dudes with inside the feminist circle, right? They're perfectly allowed to talk to other people on the other side. They're perfectly allowed to give platforms, right? However, the people who can't give platforms, Lacey Green and roaming millennial.
Oh, I know. It is true that they're the ones that get all the flack. I actually used that same argument, and it's straight from you, Aja. You're the one that made the argument in someone's comment section about the fact that Elon, like Steve Shives, has never given Eli Bosnick any kind of hard time. He's done 2 streams with Bearing. Yeah.
And you can just tell because he is so angry that this must be some kind of deep-seated emotional response.
Yeah, well, he's been the one that's enforced the policy the hardest because there is the whole blocked by Steve thing. So, I mean, this is got to be a blow to he like everything he's done, his whole future is kind of wrapped up in this.
It is, and after what he done, it sort of contradicts his old veil, and it sort of contradicts his old veil he made in 2012 when he said you have the right to speak and nobody should shut you down. Sort of veil that he privated, obviously.
Yeah, I remember that. I think Bearing was giving him a hard time about that. That the Steve Shives from 2012 is nowhere near the Steve Shives from 2017.
And what's shocking is that around 2011, he privated his video 5 stupid things of feminism, and that was right when he got indoctrinated into the feminism or the atheism plus cult.
Right. Do you think he was feminist before he was atheist? And that the atheism, he became an atheist because he was a feminist? Because his wife was a hardcore feminist, right?
No, the thing about Shives is that he was an anti-feminist up until when his wife sort of found them. And the reason why I know this is because back at 2009, he and I used to actually chat with each other, and I actually know quite a bit about his personal life. I'm not going to share too much about that, but
no, share it all. Share. No.
Yeah, we wouldn't do anything with that information, now would we?
No, I have DMs from him, and I haven't shared them because I feel exactly the same way as you, thinker.
Yeah,
I'm like Mr. Thinker.
Call me whatever you like. Many people have made many names of me.
What is do you have your name out there? You know my name's Adam, so
People have my name out there, but
I'll stick with Mr. Thinker.
you could even call me Forbidden Dick if you like.
I like Mr. Thinker. Mr. Thinker. Everyone thinks Ajar is me because he stole my avatar. Yeah, I'm supposed to get mad about that. I believe, because I feel like sometimes people are getting mad for me, and I'm like, no, dude, I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking to the wrong guy.
What's that saying about? Was it mimicry is the best form of flattery or something?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Plus it's I know Jordan Peterson is going to hate this, but it's the postmodernist in me. Like, I don't care. I like to break the rules. So you were talking about Steve Shives and how you were going to share some private information about Mr. Thinker.
I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to share personal life stuff, but the only thing I'm willing to share is that he was an anti-feminist up until his wife got introduced to him, and that and PC Myers brainwashed him.
So did he marry her before his YouTube career or after his YouTube career?
After.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they were married beforehand. So
no,
So what's the cringy video? The cringy video that everyone cites, was that like their first date or something, or were they married, or what was the deal?
As far as I remember, he mentioned to me that they sort of got married right around the time when he made a few videos regarding the eighth. It was actually a little bit after he made the 5 stupid things about atheism, but ironically that was around the time when I think it was about a week or 2 weeks after that when he and I had buds with each other, and from then on he refuses to talk to me. In fact, I may have been potentially the first person ever blocked by him.
He called me a rape apologist before he blocked me. So I think he was like mad at me. Someone told me on Twitter that they read a blog post that his wife had done and that they felt sorry for her. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I do. And
do you have a link to the blog post? I want to read it.
Let me check if I can find it somewhere. I actually have a private folder of all the things I collected about him. But as far as I understand, she is very controlling, and the rumors about his...
That's not unusual. They're married, okay, Mr. Tinker. That's how it goes.
Hey, I was a married man once myself, but
were you really? I had no idea.
Almost technically.
Okay. You weren't actually married then.
She technically died before, well, the marriage was even started.
Really? Oh, that's fucking sad, dude. What about you, Ajar? Are you on your second wife, third wife? How many wives you got going?
I'm more of a MGTOW.
Oh, really?
Not a political MGTOW. I don't go around telling other people what to do. This is a personal choice.
You're not gunning for angry MGTOW's job?
No.
I feel sorry for kids today, man. It's tough. It's tough out there. So I sympathize with the MGTOWs big time. You know, I did a stream with Angry MGTOW. Not many people know this.
Yeah, I saw that one, and the hangout was good, but I mean, with Angry MGTOW, I just don't trust him anymore.
Yeah, he's like loony bins, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, and a lot of that loony comes from his stance and just the fact he's a loony, and how he used to hang out with Traversable and a few of those loonies as well.
Baring told me Traversable had like his wife tried to kill him or something like that. So, I mean, that's tough. It's difficult for me to say. It's difficult for me not to feel sympathetic towards someone who's been through that kind of tragedy.
Yeah, I have the same feelings, but with Traversable, I'm kind of willing to say I have no sympathy for him because recently he's recently supporting killing people, all because
Yeah,
of
that's
fucking
not cool.
over all over fucking up a man's life. And let's just say he didn't exactly explicitly say those beliefs, but he was supporting someone saying those beliefs in a hangout.
Right.
And
Yeah, I don't support. I draw no murder. No, come on, seriously. So
all right, I checked the file and I don't think I actually have it,
that's okay.
but I do have, I believe, one of his older videos about how he used to be basically anti-Islam.
Well, I've got that. I've
Yeah.
got the 5 stupid things about Islam,
Yeah,
which is now deleted.
How long have you been on YouTube, Ajar?
2013, I think.
Oh, that's pretty good. 4 years.
Yeah, but half that time I was a Minecraft YouTuber.
What does that mean?
I used to make like Minecraft mod tutorials and shit like that.
Well, that's cool. I don't. I play games still to this day, but I mean, I have done some recording, but I mean, it's getting in on that now seems impossible, but I mean, that'd be pretty kick ass just to play games online and make money doing it. But I don't know that the ad apocalypse, I think, is going to change everything pretty much. Like we might be in the last days of YouTube here. It's hard to say. Do you have any thoughts on that? You
Diversify your funds.
Yeah,
Which is
totally.
yeah. Patreon, you've got to get Patreon. I haven't because I don't know. Um,
Yeah, I'm working on my Patreon too, but I mean, I always looked at I'm like ContraPoints has a good thing going with Patreon. I really dig. Like, I can't stand the fact that he's this gender Nazi, which just drives me nuts. Like, but the content that he produces is really slick, and that's kind of. I mean, I would love to do slick content like that. And he's totally funding it through his Patreon. So if I could get in a position like that, that would be totally kick ass. But I don't know that it's possible. We'll see what happens.
well, what you need is ideological fans.
Yeah, I know, and that's my problem. I'm not an ideological dude, so it's
Like
like
I've looked at my content and I've gone, I can get way more subs right if I just go full right wing
yeah,
and just
totally.
start saying leftists, libtards.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah, totally.
and
You
vote
should jump in
somewhere.
with Spino, man. Spino's going in that direction now. But
Yeah, but
he doesn't know it though. He's going in that direction
yeah, but
instinctively.
he made the decision at the wrong point. There's a point right where there's maximum gain to choosing a side, and then
Right.
there's a point where you've already got a subscription base, right? Changing a
Totally.
side too late, you might as well just be cutting half your subscribers, which is what is sort of happening to Spino to some
Yeah.
extent. Thunderfoot.
He's going through the ideological shuffle. He's
That's right.
losing subscribers, but he's gaining subscribers. But he's on the wrong side anyway because he's like looks like he's barely 18. So he'll
First, yeah.
he'll get more subscribers in the SJW camp, the liberal camp, the left wing camp. Yeah, I don't know that it's different. It's way different subscribers on the right side though. It really is. It's like older people. So
I don't. I know. I look at some of the left wing channels, and a lot of them don't get very far right because their channels are built around, dare I say, sadness. They're always
what do you mean by that?
a lot of it's based on there are bad YouTubers. There's bad things happen in this world. Things are terrible, right? Feel sad for things. How sad is this, right? Where if you look at someone like Bearing, right, who might be right wing or any of the other right wing people, a lot of their content is like, these people are stupid. Let's laugh at it, right?
Yeah,
And
totally.
so
Let's
they
have
have a
some
feeling,
fun.
yeah. Yeah. So that's why people subscribe to them, right? Even if they're
Totally.
not right wing, they're there for the fun part. People don't
Yeah.
subscribe for the sadness
No, they don't. No,
unless they are truly sad.
that's a great observation. Yeah, keeping it happy. Like I think of that on my channel. Like I should be going stronger more towards more comedy. Comedy is what I like to do
Yeah.
anyway. So
I think to go on to that point, the person you mentioned before, ContraPoints, and another
yes.
one, H Bomber guy, look at their content as opposed to the other SJWs. Their
Yeah,
stuff is
they're
more about funny jokes. They get all the
Totally.
subscribers.
True, big time.
Um,
Funny and entertaining should be number one. Okay, what's this?
my informant is just sent me this. It's probably out of order, so I'm in the process of asking him to provide more info.
So it's Steve Shives. It says, this is Steve Shives replying to himself. It's gotten that bad.
It has. It literally has. And
The only one not blocked by Steve is Steve himself.
literally, there's pages upon pages of this stuff.
But Jesus, complaining that someone won't join your team when your dugout is full of bigots and creeps takes some balls, doesn't it? Who's he talking about? Again, not saying that's the reason why. NGT, who's that?
No idea.
Doesn't say I'm an atheist.
Oh, I think that
Neil
guy.
deGrasse Tyson.
Yep, that's him.
Yeah, I think he's referring to a guy that he recently had headbutts of each other over.
No, Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's because Neil deGrasse Tyson doesn't say he's an atheist. Steve Shives. Hold on, I got.
All right.
If I had a good career as an author and or TV presenter, why would I want to be associated with that kind of toxicity? Well, exactly. Shit. Well, Steve Shives made a good point. Here, let me like that. Oh shit.
You know, actually, from some stuff from was Jonathan Hyde. Steve actually sort of makes a point here, right? Because atheism, I can't remember who said it, but it was atheism provides questions, it doesn't give you answers, right? It's not a moral backbone
Right.
thing. It's not where you get your morals from. So when you look at some of the other religions, right, where that's where people get their easy answers from, this is where I get my morals from. Saying you're an atheist, right, is sort of like saying I'm subscribing to nothingness, right?
Yeah, totally.
So it's very not tribalistic, right? So that's why people don't want to say they're atheists. But
like one of the things that happened when the internet came along, though, I think a bunch of atheists were so happy that they could finally be tribalistic that they jumped online and jumped in with both feet, right? Because I mean,
and then they realized that they're all a bunch of tribes.
Exactly. Because in your normal life, you don't meet a lot of atheists, so it's very hard to get tribalistic.
The feminist tribe meets with the nonconformist tribes and the atheist tribe. It's just like, you were never one tribe.
Yeah, totally. It's pretty awesome though. I dig the whole tribalist thing online. Oh, the tweets are back. Why the last one? Why would someone want to join a team? Oh, this is. Did we move?
This is somewhat before. I'm trying to ask him to provide context of what he said before that point.
Shit, I just make YouTube videos and I'm frequently embarrassed by the intolerance and ignorance I see atheists pushing or standing behind. Who the fuck is where's the intolerance and ignorance? Like, that's the most ironic statement I've ever heard in my life. Like, Steve Shives is the most intolerant and ignorant person I know.
What is it about being an atheist means that you're not going to be one of those things?
What,
it's like,
intolerant or ignorance? Yeah, totally.
It's just a lack of belief in God. You can be intolerant and ignorant as you want. I mean, what, you were expecting saints?
Yeah, exactly. Why would someone want to join a team where bigotry against one particular religion is regularly spouted, then excused or overlooked? I wonder what religion he's talking about. Why would someone want to join a team where the players with history where players with histories of sexism and sexual harassment are still welcomed and celebrated? Man, Steve just needs to go back to Christianity. He just needs to go back to Christianity.
Yeah, he does. I mean, as far as I know, the Christians are a lot more loving and they don't smack around each other like we do.
Exactly. You show up at the Church of Atheism, right? And they're like, here are your boxing gloves. Here, you better put your mask on. Get in there.
You know,
we have one more. I didn't read the last one.
All right, I'll bring it back.
He reminds me of born again Christians.
Oh, totally. It's the same thing. Here's the last tweet. Why would someone want to join a team where many of the most prominent players have recently promoted and defended scientific racism? Scientific racism. Sorry, I was laughing so hard. Because that's what he thinks he's like, roaming millennial had Richard Spencer on, and he's a scientific racist. It's so bizarre.
In another world, him and Richard Spencer would get on great because they're both socialists.
I know.
If only Richard Spencer would stop talking about the blacks and the Jews, they would get along great.
They would. They'd both be like, they'd both start Bernie broing out, wouldn't they? They'd be like, I wanted Bernie too. But I wasn't going to take Hillary.
They'd be both at the rally going, I want single payer healthcare. Then all of a sudden one goes, for white people only. He's like, oh, I've made a mistake.
You're Mr. Thinker, you're American, correct?
Yes.
Ozjar's over there with his universal health care. We're over here. We're getting ready to get thrown out in the street. Trump is getting ready to gut public television, for heaven's sakes. He's going to kill Big Bird. I have my theory. Like, I think Trump is actually going to be probably impeached in his first term because this stuff on Russia is just getting crazier and crazier. And now they definitely have enough to, if it was a Democratic Congress, they would impeach him. The only reason why he's not being impeached is because the Republicans are in charge. But the Republicans have wanted to do so much of this crazy shit, like cut PBS. They can never cut PBS because do you know about Big Bird, Ozjar? Do you know this stuff?
Oh yeah, I grew up on Big Bird.
Okay, so no president wants to run for re-election when the other side can say you killed Big Bird. But if Trump is going to get impeached, they could make him the fall guy for all this crazy stuff that they want to do. So the Republicans can come out and they can cut Social Security, they can cut Medicare, they can cut Big Bird, they can kill Big Bird, right? And they suffer no political consequences from it because Trump did it, right? And
we a fall guy.
Yeah, we impeached him. So I'm willing to bet that they're working on passing all of this crazy shit that they don't want to get their hands dirty doing, and they're going to make Trump the fall guy for it. And he's such a fucking idiot, man.
And in the end, they can be the savior of the nation.
Yeah, totally. So they get all of these terrible policies passed that totally screw over the American people, and then they still get to be the saviors because they turned on their own team to impeach the Republican president that tried to turn our country over to the Russians. So they still come out smelling like roses. It's so sick what's going on over here right now. It's terrible. Are you a Mr. Thinker? Politics? Do you follow politics at all? Or are you just
I do from time to time, and
that means never.
Hey, the problem
never. Once every 4 years, I pay attention to the election.
Yeah,
who'd you vote for?
I'm not going to say because
no, you didn't vote. We caught you.
No, I did, but I'm just not going to describe who I voted because I live in a bad neighborhood where, depending on who I vote, may determine whether or not do I get to come to work.
Oh, really? Huh.
He voted Trump.
No,
I've
I didn't
seen
vote
some.
for him. I voted for someone else, and let's just say, again, if I mentioned who or what, I'd end up with a black eye by the
Did they
time.
have a vagina?
Uh, the only thing I saw was tentacles.
It won't give it away. Just tell us. No, because you could have voted for Jill Stein. So, see, you're safe. Anyway, what's so what is the end game for Steve Shives? Like if feminism falls apart, what do you think he's going to do?
I know what he's going to do, and it's most likely him going either batshit insane and just trying to support his version of SJW or feminism, which he will try and revive. And I've always said this from time to time that he wants to be the king of his own little cults, and I truly believe that he may actually try and attempt that after SJW and feminism just falls, and he'll just want to restart it as something that he can directly control. Either
Mhm.
that, or either that he'll just rage quit and delete his entire account and come back.
Ooh, really?
Yeah,
He's
because
gonna pull a woolly bumblebee?
oh, you're looking at the tweets.
No, he's gonna didn't Woolly Bumblebee quit her account? Oh, those are new tweets, aren't they?
Yeah, but
What's
yeah,
did you follow the Woolly Bumblebee saga, Ajar?
Yeah, I've been following it for longer than anyone else has.
Yeah,
I used to be
that's what I thought. You were sent me a video that she.
I used to be on streams with them.
Really? Holy shit! You've talked to the Woolly Bumblebee.
Yeah, and Joe, and from what I can tell, over time they like creating drama and profiting off it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get into that. Did you see Blair White's video today about the chick that is like pro pedophilia?
No, not yet.
Okay, so Blair White did a video today about two YouTubers that made pro pedophilia videos, which is crazy. But I went and looked at the girl's channel, and it seems like she just is doing it for attention, which is just weird. It's so weird to do something like that just to get views.
Well, there was that girl called Valion who used to be the Hitler did nothing wrong girl. Now she's a full-on communist.
Really? She switched from being a natural Nazi to a communist?
Yeah, she did a video. I can't remember where it is, but it's Stalin didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, the genocide by his killing all those innocent people. He didn't do anything wrong.
That's right.
I would say pedophilia, like being pro. I guess being pro like Hitler or Stalin is right up there with pedophilia. It's hard to tell. Pedophilia might be a little bit worse, but I mean, if you could combine all three of those topics in a video, people would equate you with Satan. I mean, but you'd get a shitload of views. The video that Blair White calls out, I think it has 60,000 views or something. So kind of crazy. Bring the tweets back. I'll read them.
All right. Oh wait, wrong one.
We live for the tweets.
You want to read some, Aja?
Sure.
You can see them, right?
Yeah, I can see them.
But you got to do it in Steve Shives' voice.
All right, give me a second. I'll bring it back up. That was a letter to him complaining to Trump.
Oh my God, he sent a letter to Trump. Hilarious.
He did.
Have you
Did
seen?
you watch the video with him and Christy Winters talking about how to convince people to vote progressive? Oh,
there we go. I think there's a way for me to present to everybody.
Okay. Why would someone, regardless of their own non-belief in gods, want to join a team with so many racists and misogynists on it? This is still the same thing. That's the point. He's just redid one
Yeah,
point again, hasn't
he says that a lot. That's like an every other tweet type thing.
Maybe he's like, well, I've taken on the atheists, now I'm going to take on the non-believing God people.
Misogynists, racist, misogynist, Nazi.
Xenophobes.
He has like a little spinny wheel on his desk, and he's like, which one should I use this time? Will it be racist? Will it be misogynist? Will it be Nazi? Will it be rape apologist? We should make that wheel. We should make that wheel for him.
Tell me what bearing is today, 8 Ball. Sexist.
Rape apologist.
Ask again. Misogynist. Yeah. Excellent.
If you're an atheist who's upset that that a famous and respected person is refusing, you think, to call themselves an atheist, consider this. Oh, this is like multiple tweets. He's on a fucking tirade, dude. Who's he talking to?
Himself. There are literal pages upon pages of him ranting to himself.
It's all this. It's all the other stuff that many atheists bring along with their atheism. That is the problem. Yeah, like feminism, motherfucker. We told you this, right? So like he could totally be. This could totally be about him. I'm against respectability. What? I'm against respectability politics. What the fuck is respectability politics?
No idea. I think that's a new buzzword he's trying to invent, like respecting dissenting opinions or something.
No matter what the venue, I don't think atheists need to be better behaved about their atheism.
Really, he speaks about better behavior, and yes, he's one with poor behavior.
there is no. We don't have any sanctions on behavior in the skeptic community, although we kind of do. I mean, but not really, because even doxing and shit like that, like AIU started doxing, and everyone was like, "Well, I don't know." Like some people would condemn it, but no, there was no community-wide condemnation of AIU, right? I mean, random people, even Thunderfoot getting all upset about this stream that Sargon did where they were joking around. There's no community-wide condemnation. It's just like randos here and there.
I think our community more acts like you know how like some lions get thrown out of packs?
Yes.
And then you end up having like 3 lions just roaming around. That's essentially what it is.
It's totally true. We'll form our own pack.
Yeah.
We can form our own pack. That's funny.
Yeah, it's a nonconformist pack of lions.
Totally. So what's your upload schedule, Aja? When are you making a new video? When are you making a new video, Forbidden Mr. Thinker?
I try to upload like once a week. I don't try and push it beyond that.
Holy shit, that's effort.
No way. Mr. Thinker doesn't put any effort in. When he's talking about uploading once a week, he's talking about jumping on a stream and talking.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
From time to time, I do make videos. It's more convenient for me to make a hangout and express my points.
To me, it's 1 to 2 weeks of writing a script, then another 2 weeks fiddling around with an editor to get something perfect, spending a whole like 2 hours and like 4 frames.
Why don't you help me come up with an idea for something big, like some big production that I can compete with ContraPoints? ContraPoints' last video is pretty amazing. It's production wise, it's totally amazing, but
it's a circus. Lots of things happening and going on, but basically there's no logic in there.
Yeah, it's
a lot of misdirection.
It's propaganda all the way. It's a totally slick piece of propaganda. His argument is, certain people can't be trusted. And ContraPoints is the oracle of which people can be trusted and which people can't be trusted. But so what's a good idea to counteract that argument?
Ooh.
I mean, I want to do something very similar. I want to do something. It's Peter Sellers is really what he's doing. Because Peter Sellers used to play multiple characters like that. But I want to do something big like that. Something really flashy. Because I like doing flashy shit like that. That's
Remember
where
one of his points was that he was talking about the 72 genders. And he was saying that, yeah, well, some of them might catch on, but like, who are we to say anything about them, right? That bit of logic there would suggest that it's okay if the end result, right, was just two genders anyway. Because what happens if like all 70 of them don't catch on? Then he would just say, well, there's two genders, right? Because that's what happened.
Did you watch Academic Agent's video on this?
Yeah,
that was fucking great, man. That
exactly.
video.
There are arguments there with premises words, but they don't go anywhere. And then after he says it, it's a skip. It's a misdirection.
Yeah. You think he's gonna get caught on this? You think he's gonna, or is
I
he?
think what will happen is he will say something that some SJW will take as blasphemy, and then it will look like as if he's not taking something serious as he should.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if it's gonna. I wonder if he's gonna get. So there's been we've been talking kind of behind the scenes about whether or not he knows he's doing it, whether or not he's an honest actor, which is totally ironic because that is the same argument that he's making with Richard Spencer, that Richard Spencer's not an honest actor. And it's funny that we're trying to figure out if he's an honest actor or not. But where people become dishonest actors, I think, is where they believe that the greater good is being served by this little bit of dishonesty. Like if ContraPoints has to do a little bit of propaganda to avoid this imagined future Holocaust, then God damn it, I'm going to do a little propaganda is what he's thinking.
Like if I punch one person, it saves like 6 million Jews.
Yeah, totally. But it's an imagined 6 million Jews. So who cares, right?
That's right.
Well, and if so
what if I have to punch 600 million people anyway?
If it really is 6 million people, like by all means, but nobody's got a crystal ball, right? That's the problem. Right.
Yeah, and a lot of the times I think it's them. They have a utopia that they want to achieve.
What is that utopia, though? That utopia is this left-wing place where, I mean, one of the things I loved about Academic Agent's video was the Alice in Wonderland analogy was brilliant, because I kept thinking that's their utopia right there. Like Alice in Wonderland, where
everyone's free to do everything.
Yeah, but what kind of society is that? Does that look like a happy place to live?
It's not. It's essentially the midpoint between peaceful anarchism and a millisecond later, and then you've got people bashing people over the head.
It basically looks like this, where some people will see Superman as this brave and almighty person that punches Nazis. By the way, that's Shive's personal superhero now.
Really? He sees that S as Shives, doesn't he?
Yep.
Superman fought white supremacy on the radio in the 40s. Be like Superman. Superman versus the KKK is on its way to theaters. What? That's bullshit. I don't believe that for 1 second.
And if it does, it's going to break its back as well, I bet.
What happened to his anti-Nazi pen? I thought it was hilarious. He had a swastika on his hat.
I think someone actually got triggered by it.
Really?
Yeah, something to do with. It's not that there's a cross between the Nazi logo. It's because just having the logo there is a reminder of actual white supremacy.
Totally. Yeah. No, it's the "don't think of an elephant" thing.
If you think about it's the trigger.
It's like don't think of a Nazi. It's like he literally had a swastika on his hat.
Yeah. Like, tell me you're going to talk about Nazis before you talk about Nazis. And there are no trigger warnings when it comes to pins.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, what about the little red thing on there with a slash through it? That's a trigger warning, right? Like, don't look behind this part because that's where the bad stuff is.
Unfortunately, that little slash thing is telling people no, and you want everyone to be free.
Yeah.
You can't be intolerant.
So I may do a vegan gains video tomorrow. That's a one thing I can think. Well, I've been working on my toxic masculinity thing too, but it's so hard to get those audio books interesting. Like so much of the statistics and the science and shit, I'm like, this is boring as hell. Entertain first, right, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm listening to the Steven Pinker Better Angels About Nature book,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
that's a
something
good one.
like 30 hours long.
Oh, I know. It's a the one of the things that I remember from that book that I thought was super interesting was when he talks about why people did human sacrifice. Have you got to that part yet?
Oh yeah, I can't remember what it was about though.
So people did, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember it being people believed in human sacrifice because they looked around and they saw the world being such an evil and vicious place because people died of sickness all the time. A lot of women died during childbirth. I mean, there was death and destruction everywhere. So since they saw death and destruction everywhere, they just made the logical assumption that God was in favor of death and destruction, right?
Yeah, and
So,
perhaps it's better to sacrifice some people we don't like.
exactly. To satiate God's appetite for death and destruction because better him than me, right? And that makes such perfect sense to me. I thought, wow, that is pretty logical. They were logical back then.
Yeah, and I think if you look inside stuff like the Bible, the Quran, and even the Torah, there's even parts about there where people were sacrificing their children to the gods and all that.
Wow.
And these prophets and God men had to come in and actually had to give them a logical argument into as to why that was wrong.
Yeah, remember the guy who did the first experiments on the witchcraft thing, and he totally screwed over his slave or something in the experiment. I remember his slave like bit the dust in the experiment, but he was like, "See, proof." I was like, "Wow, that's pretty." They didn't care about experimenting on human subjects back then, did they?
No.
There was some. No. It was some. They accused some. There was. I can't remember the experiment, but it was badass.
Oh, wait on. Yeah. It was something to do with the Spanish Inquisition or something like that, where they knew that all these witches were being burnt alive and tortured and all that.
Right.
And when they asked the torturers, right, how do you know that these are actually witches? And they say, well, someone else we were torturing said they were witches, right? So what this guy does, right, is he gets his slave, right, goes to the inquirers and goes, this dude's a witch. Oh no, he goes to someone who's being tortured, I think, tells them to point the finger at his slave, who he knows is innocent, and then he basically watches the
yes, they're like, ha, you killed the wrong guy. That guy was innocent.
There's another story in there about a duke who goes down to the dungeon or whatever, sees this witch being tortured, right? And he asks them, how do you know? And of course they go, well, another witch outed them, right? And then in front of the torturers, he talks to this lady and goes, madam, have you ever seen either two of these men communicating witches? And then the witch says, these guys have been sleeping with these witches. They have children with frog heads. And I immediately thought Pepe. And then he's like, oh, so we should torture you now.
Yeah,
That's what. Yeah.
that book is crazy. Whenever anyone complains about politics or their pet patriarchy, whatever, I think, man, you haven't read enough. There's so much truly screwed up shit that's gone on throughout history and still today in the world. It's crazy to get upset about some
And I
pet
think
political project.
the thing the book that's so magical is the comparison of how bad now is compared to how bad it used to be.
Oh,
And people,
totally.
yeah, like we've got all these anarchists, trying to get rid of the state and all that. And if you just look at how many people died in stateless societies, we're looking at 100 to 200 people per 100,000, right, in a stateless society.
Yeah.
These are modern stateless societies, like tribes, in jungles and shit like that. And then compare it to when we started to get states, and the number just drops and drops and drops. And then you get to, like, say Australia, which is only like 1.2 people killed per 100,000. America's a little bit off.
Yeah.
But
killed
actually,
for what?
and if you look at where all the high crime areas are in America,
crime, yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the high crime areas in America, where the highest homicide rates are, such as Milwaukee, not
Chicago.
Milwaukee, Chicago.
Chicago's got to be up there. New Orleans is probably up there.
These are all places where no one trusts the law.
Totally.
So everyone deals with their own crimes. So it's all retribution.
Yeah.
When you have less faith in a third party to resolve your problems, then you will result to killing people. And in those places, it's more of it's an honor culture more than anything else.
You know your shit, man. This is why the black crime statistics are so high. When they always talk about how blacks commit more crime than whites. The reason why blacks commit more crime than whites is because they don't have as much policing.
Yeah, and they don't trust the state to do the policing.
Exactly.
So if you watch a documentary from Louis Laveau,
what is it?
I can't remember. It's one of the cities. He goes to one of the cities, and it's a high black crime area, and he's talking to a bunch of guys in the corner, right? And he's asking them, like, if you saw someone shot, would you tell the cops?
They're like,
and they're like, no.
Snitches get stitches, man.
And at that point in time, there's a guy that he's walking on crutches at the time. He tells a story that he was shot in the neck, right?
Oh, wow.
And even he won't snitch on the person who shot him.
Crazy.
Because, and his plan was, he'll resolve it. He'll go and kill those people.
Yeah, most murder is moralistic in nature. Most of it's retribution, just like you said.
I think there's a saying that crime is just another form of justice.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's crazy. But nobody really talks about that. And you can't say it without your channel getting totally destroyed. Especially if you're going,
you can imagine making a video
full right wing. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
making a video saying the reason why there's so much crime in black areas is because black people.
you get hit on both sides.
You would get shat on. But the reality is, right, if you get the same situation, right, and you apply it to a white poor area, it's the same thing. We get like rednecks that do the same thing, and hillbillies and all that. They live in these areas where I remember, I think we was talking about how people in the South, particularly conservatives, right, are more in favor of things like capital punishment, shooting people who trespass, because they're more in favor of dealing with people themselves rather than letting the state.
They
Where the
talk about
Democrats
this in that
are the
book,
opposite.
Better Angels of
Yeah.
Our Nature, don't they?
Yeah. So much stuff in it, just like amazing.
Yeah. They talk about the north-south divide. Don't they have the letters too that the employment letters where the guy says like he's applying for a job and he's like, yeah, but I killed this guy this one time. And
Yes.
he tells the story about how he killed him, like he made eyes at his girlfriend or something, and he felt like he had to do it. And all the Southern employers are like, well, you pretty much had to kill that guy, so you can still work here. And all the Northerners are like, nah, dude, you should have let that go. Come on. Whoa.
Every now and then I tend to
you-
flash other.
you gotta-
What's going on here?
You got to share that with the world. Come on, Mr. Thinker.
I do. The problem is everybody ignores me.
I haven't seen that come up in my Twitter feed.
As I said, everybody ignores me.
I would have liked, shared, subscribed.
I'd be drawing a Pepe face on that if I saw that.
Yeah.
The odd thing is people mistake my avatar as Pepe himself, which I always found pretty humorous. Let me see if I can't show another one.
What are you gonna do, Ajar, when I transition to my new avatar?
Well, I don't know. I'm going to keep this one because it's just hilarious.
I know.
Or, depending on what your avatar is, see if I can mangle that one.
No. You could. I'm sure you could. The avatar is. You saw the eyes for the avatar on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm going full trans. I am, man. I'm like shit. Well, I can transition without really that much trouble. I mean, I can go further than Riley Dennis has.
All you need is some red hair gel, and the transformation would be perfect.
Do you watch?
Give any dude 2 hours, and he could do more than Riley.
Do you watch Venture Brothers? Neither of you watch Venture Brothers?
No.
I think
Okay.
I have once, but it's been a while.
So there's this character on there that's called Dr. Girlfriend. She's the girlfriend of the monarch. She's totally hot, but she has the voice of a man, which is really super cool. But so that's what I'm thinking, because I can go the Dr. Girlfriend route, which is
If you
funny
do
because
that-
my old avatar is Dr. Manhattan, so I still have my doctorate.
I see.
If you do that, then I have the perfect version of you that I could do. You know the Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah, I do.
Mr. Him?
I don't know.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Mr.
I think-
Him?
Yeah, Mr. Him, but he's always like in a silhouette type form, right? But he's like he's very feminine. He's got a feminine voice. Or he hasn't got rounded edges, he's got very
That looks pretty
pointy
funny.
edges. And it's clear that obviously not to kids, right? But it's clear to adults that this person is transgendered in some way. It's more of a drag queen than anything.
Yeah, holy cow. I'm looking at pictures. Yeah, this definitely looks pretty transgender. But it's like the transgender devil. What's it saying? I feel like maybe it's transphobic or something.
Maybe it is. I do believe the Powerpuff Girls did go anti-feminist slightly in one of their episodes.
Oh my God.
They were going anti-social justice. There was an episode about these people who just complained in Twitter mobs. Like they couldn't fight Mojo Jojo because Mojo Jojo was a victim.
Uh-huh.
So it's that victim culture thing again.
Can you see that?
Oh dear. Oh,
Like that?
that's terrible.
Here's my face reveal right here.
Now you're revealing past childhood trauma. Back then, I knew that that guy was creepy.
I don't know. I don't know how
I mean, my lizard sex slave is master is it's a lot. It's a lot more tame compared to Mr. Him.
Should I stop sharing? I don't know what I'm doing here. I was worried. Oh, there he is.
Actually, you know how
that's pretty crazy. I don't know if I want to go to that. That's like a little too far.
Yeah, that's.
I was actually trying to go attractive. I was trying to like beef up my attractiveness. You know, everybody did. What was your take on the teal deer drama? The teal deer came out and said, "Oh my God, these hot girls are getting so many more subs than me, and it's driving me crazy." He's got a point. But
it's like, yeah, of course, duh.
Get over it, right?
I think I know the reason why they always get more subs, and it's an obvious answer. It's boobs.
Yeah, totally. But I don't know how complaining about it changed. Like, what's the point, right?
No, there's not much of a point to complain about unless if you want to buy one of those fake silicone breasts, then you could be on camera and do that.
Yeah, get a real doll, Tilder. I encourage it. I think you should. I think Tilder should get a real doll, and she can do the streams for him.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I gotta get something to drink, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
You know how you're concerned about fake news?
Yeah, totally.
Well, you know, there's those sites that essentially just they just pump out news articles and they're copies from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Willie's husband runs one of them.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah, and you know what the worst thing about it is? All the articles are authored by, in quote, Sargon of Akkad.
No way.
But they're not Sargon.
Yeah, no, that's fucking awful.
Yeah, and there's even a tweet from him asking Sargon if he had wrote the if he actually did this site.
So, does Sargon know this is going on?
I assume so.
Wow. So and that's like totally fucked up. That's completely scandalous. How come people don't know this? I guess nobody cares, really. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. They don't particularly care. They had a website called Problematic People, which was essentially the two teams getting together and writing articles that were sort of like a bridge building. And you have people like Wooly on there, and you have people like Kevin Werrigan on there. And at the time, you know, they were supposed to be on two different teams, right? Well, at some point, that website just turned into a mill, an article mill. And I don't know if they've still got it now, but on it there was stuff like Vine videos and 20 funny things to look at videos,
right?
And you'll never guess what's inside this packet of chips videos. So that's why I said that they essentially they're not actually they are not honest. They're sort of like they're in it for the views,
right? Yeah. So that's why they start the drama, because the views help their website get traffic.
That's right.
But this is why Wooly's always like claiming to be the centrist, right? Like she's working both sides with the articles.
Yeah.
Am I right?
And like she's got so many high and she's very high moral about it. That's not the word. Whatever the situation is, she's got the high morals. She's the one correct. What you're doing is wrong. But the thing is, she's done the opposite, and her morals are the opposite from the other side.
Yeah.
I remember there's something like she had a video called Words Hurt.
Hilarious.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. If words hurt, they hurt because fake news.
That's right. And they go around calling people retards. And of course, they used to call people autistic as well. That was before they switched to the other side.
Yeah. Kooky. Holy shit. I found really good Powerpuff Girls.
All right, I'm back.
I love my Powerpuff Girls. I should go soon anyway. I have to go to bed. It's late here. What time is it in Australia?
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, okay. It's like almost 11 here. I'm up way past my bedtime. What time zone are you in, Mr. Thinker?
I'm in the coastal area. It's around 11:39 p.m. for me.
It's 10:45 for you.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, I was looking.
Yeah, I was like, you can't read a clock. You're in the same time zone as me, bud.
Yeah, I had to correct myself. I was looking at my
Forbidden Thinker's had a little. He's been sipping from his flask a little too much this evening.
Let's just say my monitor was broken, and it's an hour ahead, even though it's not.
I gotcha. So, yeah, no, this is interesting times. A lot of drama going on. I saw also that I saw a video from Warski. He's trying to hook up a live stream with Francesca Ramsey, which would be interesting, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
No.
Yeah, I did a stream with Bry from Newsish, and he came up with the perfect points about Francesca Ramsey. Like it being a black woman in like raised in America in the last 10 20 years. I don't know how old she is, but like imagine they're never challenged at all because people are afraid they're going to get the charge of racism. Like, and if it's a black woman, you can get the charge of racism or sexism. So just never having your views challenged in any way, shape, or form has got to make you completely just weak if somebody even tries to challenge your views. So, and Warski's challenging her views like every single day. So she's just probably just terrified of it.
I saw a video today from someone had filmed something from Linda Sussel's talk somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy came out and read her famous tweet about wanting to take the vaginas away from Ayaan Hirsi Ali.
Mm-hmm.
And she just claimed that some right-wing dude probably didn't read it himself, probably read it on a right-wing blog. The tweet never happened. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, we know it happened. And there's archives of it. But the crowd, of course, even after hearing, you would think social justice warriors would be that the whole idea of taking someone's vagina away would just pop them up, right? But they're in a moment where they cannot upset a Muslim person of color
because she's got more oppression points than them.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
And like you're in a crowd, there's no one going to go, maybe this is the time I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
You can do that when no one's around, but like when you're surrounded by all these other people, right? They could all be thinking the same thing about how what she's saying is bullshit, but because of social pressure, they can't say anything.
Yeah. When I grew up, the people that lived across the street from me, it was a black guy and his white wife. And we never even, none of us, like, how you there's like all the neighborhood kids. Well, I don't know how it is where you guys grew up, but where I grew up, it was like our gang. Like we had everyone in the neighborhood would hang out, play sports, get in whatever kind of trouble we got in. But like nobody ever even talked about like interracial marriage or anything like that. It was considered to be completely normal. Like, and I just feel like these days, like everyone just thinks so much about race.
Kids don't really care about politics, do they?
No, fuck no.
They run up to one another. Hey, you want to be friends? Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah, totally.
Need it. You like ice cream? So do I.
Why are people so focused on race now? Like, just doesn't make any sense to me at all. seems like huge steps backwards to me. It really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does seem to be a huge step backwards. I have no idea on why people are so focused on that topic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
You know, it's because they let black people who are racist start talking, and they started listening.
I see.
I mean, there's a bit from I can't remember if it was Eddie Murphy or Chris Rock, but he said the most racist person I know are old black men because they've got good reason to be.
Right. Yeah, no. I actually lived in New Orleans for a while, and there's huge racism in New Orleans. That I grew up in California, so nobody ever thought about race here. But once I moved to New Orleans, I realized, wow, the racism just still exists. We went to Mardi Gras, and during Mardi Gras, there's huge parades, and all the high schools have marching bands and stuff that are in the parades. So we're sitting there watching the parades, and it is so segregated. It's like one class goes by all black, one class goes by all white, all black, no integration whatsoever. And I turn to my friend, I'm like, "What's going on? Why is this? Why is it? The color guard here?" And he said that all the blacks go to public school, and all the public schools are completely black, and all the whites send their kids to private schools, so they're all completely white. Which it's weird to think that there are places that are still completely segregated like that. But yeah, there's tons of racism there. I wonder if it's better now, because I lived there a long time ago, so it might be okay now. Probably not, though. It's probably worse. All right, I'm going to bed. You guys are on your own.
All right.
Yeah, I better go because I've got to steal more of Adam's video.
What do you mean? What video?
Well, you changed your intro for the last one, right? Slightly. So now I've got to mess with mine.
Okay. I can't wait to see your new video. I might have a video out this week. I probably am going to try to do a video tomorrow on vegan gain. So
I'm probably going to be maybe 1 or 2 days.
Yeah. Take care, you guys. Talk to you next time.
Okay, mate.
Bye-bye, Mr. Thinker.
All right. See you later.
See you next time.
All right. So it's just me now. Again, if I'm here for probably about another 10 minutes. So if anyone else wants to hop on and just let me know. Or if you want to talk to me. But yeah, those are two great guys I know of. Granted, I don't know Eshir that much, but I've seen him through his videos, and he's a pretty good guy. I'm going to rename this Hangout. I'm going to keep the original part of it original, but I'm going to add after in pain to autistic twins talking. Yeah, that's what I'm going to change half the Hangout to. Final message to a friend, pain, and autistic twins chatting as well. But yeah. Anyways, I'm here for wait. Oh shit! Not again. Someone keeps tweeting me. I really hate Bob Reynolds. Oh well. I can always ignore Bob Reynolds because he always asks for a link, but never shows up on any Hangouts. But yeah, I might as well end it off here. I'm Friend Thinker signing out, and have a lovely day. And also remember that bacon is for love and it's life.